Hi, I'm Curly Sue and welcome to Curly Sue's Kitchen. Today in the kitchen we're going to be making butter bean and chickpea loaf, which is a really great item to make if you're having a dinner party or if it's a celebration like Christmas or anything like that where you want to have a nice centerpiece for your occasion, or if you just want to make a nice meal. So let's get started. What do you need for a butter bean and chickpea loaf? You will need a bell pepper, red onion, garlic, tomato, a sprig of thyme, and then your seasonings, you're going to need salt, seasonal, nutmeg, curry powder, ketchup, cumin, and then you're going to need amino acid, which is similar to soy sauce but a healthier version. I use the Bragg's variety, that's the brand name. Some coconut milk, and for the topping we're going to need paprika, which is optional, ketchup and maple syrup, and of course you need your chickpeas, your butter beans, and also some oatmeal. Now, what do you do first? First of all, this particular video is sponsored by Salad Master, so they very kindly lent me some of their cookware. So this is their skillet, which is a really great piece of kit. I'm just going to turn it on now, turn it up to 100 degrees, and we're going to saute the onions. So you don't, the good thing about Salad Master stuff is you don't need any oil. You just put a tiny little bit of water in there to heat it up first of all. Just a tiny bit like that. And then we're going to add our onions. So the reason I use a red onion is because it gives it a nice kind of sweetish flavour. So you put your chopped up onion in first. So I'll carefully put that in. And you're going to saute this in the water until it's kind of soft and translucent. And put that in first of all. So that will take between 5 and 10 minutes depending on how quick your cooker is or how high the heat is, but on a medium heat it should take 5 to 10 minutes. So we'll let that saute first of all. While that's sautéing, you can add your seasonings to your chickpeas and your butter beans. So we're going to add in our nutmeg and our cumin and our seasonal. Seasonal is also called all-purpose seasoning, it's the same thing. Our curry powder, and all the measurements for this recipe are in the description section below. Salt. A little bit of black pepper, it's a nice square there, and we're going to add our oats, our coconut milk, our amino acid, and lastly, I'll borrow that, our ketchup. So what we're going to do is take a masher. I think you can use a fork instead if you haven't got one of these, but you're going to just take one of these and you mash it in the same way you would mash mashed potatoes. So you want to give it, make sure it's all combined as well, so you kind of stir it as you go along. You can see our onions are coming along nicely there. So you mash these. Smells nice. It's starting to get the nice combination of smells coming together as well. It's a shame video doesn't have smell-o-vision as well. You'll be able to smell it. It smells lovely. There you go. You don't have to mash every single pea and bean, just enough to kind of bring it together, because this is going to help stick the whole loaf together as well. So until it looks something like that. Just borrow this to get the last of the chickpea mixture and butter bean mixture off there. So come back to our onions now, which are getting there. Yeah, they just need a couple minutes more and then we're ready to add the rest of the vegetables. And the good thing about the Salad Master skillet is because you don't have to add any oil and you don't have to only add in a tiny bit of water, it retains the flavour in the ingredient much better. Because sometimes you can cook the onions and because you've added a lot of oil or water, you can get the flavour can be reduced a bit. But the beauty of the Salad Master is that it actually turns up the volume a bit on the flavour that you should taste anyway. Alright, they're just about done. So we're going to add our garlic that we've chopped up, our tomato and our pepper. And then with the thyme, you just pull the little sprigs so that the little kind of leaf looking bits come off. Not the twig bit, not the stem, but the little green bits come off. So you go in the opposite way into which it's growing so that they just come off like so. And give that a good stir. Just put a tiny bit of water in there. So you want to make sure this is not thoroughly cooked, but until it's soft. So you're softening these. So you're just sautéing it a bit, not cooking it completely, and you don't want to cook it to a mush or anything. That smells really nice because you can smell the thyme and you can smell all the flavour combinations coming together really nicely. And I don't know if it's because it's this particular Salad Master skillet, but I find that sometimes when you cook onions it gives out that pungent kind of smell, but it doesn't seem to be that bad with this actually. I don't know if it's because it's a nice fancy pot that, you know, when you get quality obviously. You get these benefits. Okay, so we'll leave that for a couple of more minutes and then we're ready to put everything together for our loaf. So I'll leave that for a couple of minutes. Right, once this is done, then you're going to add this to your butter bean and chickpea mixture. I'm just going to add it like so. Smells very nice. And you can vary the vegetables as well if you like, but you know, you can use this as a guide. But you can experiment a bit with it. Use a different type of onion, use a different colour pepper, use a little less or more garlic, use some more thyme. I use fresh thyme because it always makes it, I always advocate using fresh fruit and vegetables wherever you can because it's just so much, it's got so much more flavour and it's so much better for you as well anyway. So yeah. All right, Just switch this off for a second, and then you're going to stir this together. A good stir, so that all of the vegetables are mixed in completely with all of the chickpea and butter bean mixture, like that. So that's it. Then you're going to line a loaf tin with some parchment paper or baking paper, like so. And then we're just going to spoon this into the loaf tin, like so. It will fit, and you just smooth it down so it's in your loaf kind of shape. Just pat it down as you go along. I'm just doing it carefully so it doesn't spill. You smooth it down so we can get more in. There you go, almost done. Just a bit more and we can top this up. There. All right, we're nearly done. Let's get all the mixture in so we don't waste any. Okay, I'll put that over there, and just pat it down so it's nice and flat. Like that. Now if you make it and it seems a bit too wet, you can always add a little bit more of the oats. If you make it and it's a bit too dry, you can just add a tiny little bit more water. But it should be this kind of sort of consistency, like that. You want it to stick together, but you don't want it too wet or too dry, just right, just like this. So there you have it. You just pat it down into the loaf tin like this, and you pop it into a medium oven for 20 to 25 minutes until it forms a nice crust. And then what you're going to do is combine the ketchup and the maple syrup, and the paprika is optional, and then you're going to glaze that on top, and then pop it back into the oven for another 10 minutes, and then it will look like this. So here is one I prepared earlier, and this is great because you can have this with some roast vegetables, some mashed potato with rice and so forth, and you can make a nice little gravy to go on the side with it as well. It's really great. As you can see, it looks quite eye-catching because of the glaze on top, and it's quite healthy as well because it hasn't got any fat in it, and that's a really great item to have for any meal that you're having, be it a special occasion or midweek. This is a really great meal. So that is your chickpea and butter bean loaf. Now, if you enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to give it the thumbs up. All of the ingredients and the information, the recipe basically, is in the description section below. Do you make any kind of loaf, butter bean and chickpea, or do you make a lentil loaf, any type of loaf? Please let me know. Comment in the comment section below. Don't forget to click and subscribe, and share this video wherever you are on social media. Eat good, eat clean, eat blessed. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.